Okay. So good evening. Sacred Consult presents the menace of nomophobia. The menace of nomophobia. My Reverend Father Dr. Eric Eliasson, the founding director of Sacred Consult. This is our outline. We will look at the introduction. Look at what is nomophobia. What are the symptoms of nomophobia? Effects of nomophobia. How do we deal with nomophobia? To conclude, and some references. Look at by way of introduction, we are saying that the last decade, we have seen technological advancement in all parts of the world. And this has made life easier with advancement in technology. The internet and smartphones have brought people together that we can ever imagine. People easily get connected to each other with the internet and smartphones. This connection helps easy information sharing and social relationships are more or less simplified. There is, however, the tendency where people depend so much on their phones to the extent that the absence of their phones within few seconds causes troubles for them. This brings to sharp focus the question of nomophobia. So what is nomophobia? What is nomophobia? The word nomophobia originated from England and was derived from the expression no mobile phobia. No mobile phobia. Phobia simply means an excessive and irrational fear reaction. Some types of phobia include homophobia, that is fear of men, cynophobia, which is the fear of dogs, hemophobia, which is the fear of blood or injury, xenophobia is the fear of foreigners, gynophobia is the fear of women, androphobia is the fear of men, erythrophobia is the fear of sexual intimacy, and we have nomophobia, the topic for our discussion. There are other types of phobias. When we say nomophobia, it is the irrational fear of losing or not having access to one's mobile phone. The irrational fear of losing or not having access to one's mobile phone. It is the fear of not using one's smartphone due to some reasons, or the fear of not being able to access one's phone. Nomophobia is a non-drug addiction. We have drug addiction, we have behavioral addiction. So nomophobia is more or less a behavioral addiction. And according to the International Journal of Indian Psychology, the term nomophobia is used to describe a psychological condition when people have a fear of being detached from mobile phone connectivity. The term nomophobia is used to describe a psychological condition when people have fear of being detached from mobile phone connectivity. And as I have said, the term was coined in 2008 by the United Kingdom Post Office during a study that was to evaluate the possibility of anxiety disorders occur due to overuse of mobile phones, Basha et al., 2019. The study found that nearly 53% of British who use mobile phones pretend to be apprehensive when they lose their phone, run out of battery or credit, or have no network coverage. Basha et al., 2019. The study also revealed that approximately 58% of male and 47% of female suffered from the mobile phone anxiety. And additionally, 9% felt strained when their mobile phones were switched off. 55% of the participants agree that they are not able to maintain connectivity with their near and near one, which was the main reason for their phobia. Okay, so anytime they are not able to make use of their phone, their fear was that they will not be able to connect with their dear ones and those who are near them. And this was the reason for their fear of losing their phone. A study conducted among undergraduate students in health services found that out of 547 males, 27% of the students were labeled as nomophobic or nomophobes, while 64% students were at risk of developing nomophobia. Almost 77% students check their cell phones more than 35 times per day. David et al., 2013. Another study revealed that more than 50% nomophobics never switch off their phones in a day. They never switch off their phones. Their phones are always on. Then what shows that one has nomophobia, or what shows that one is nomophobe or nomophobic? One, spending excessive amount of time on your phone daily, the detriment of other activities. Spending excessive amount of time on your phone daily, the detriment of other activities. Two, fear of low battery. Fear of low battery. Three, fear of losing connectivity. Fear of losing connectivity. And also fear of losing your phone or feel anxious at the fear of losing your phone. Sleeping with your phone with the hope of checking it intermittently while asleep. Some people will be sleeping with their phone, and in the middle of the night, they will get up and be checking their phone, whether they have message or they have a missed call or something. And this will interrupt or interfere with their sleep. The unlocking the screen of your phone frequently to check whether you have a message or call. You also feel annoyed when you cannot access your phone. You feel annoyed when you cannot access your phone. Also, you are not unable to switch off your phone. You put your phone, your life. So these are some of the signs of nomophobia. We will continue from where we left off. So we are going to look at the effects of nomophobia. So we have anxiety. You look at the psychological effects of nomophobia. We have anxiety. We have excessive worrying, lack of concentration, agitation, disorientation. We have what we call cognitive impairment that can lead to poor brain functioning. We have what we call digital stress leading to exhaustion. So these are some of the psychological effects of nomophobia. Because you are worried about your phone, or you have fear of losing connectivity, that will lead to fear of connection. You are always anxious. You worry excessively. You don't even concentrate because of the phone. You agitate a lot. You are disoriented because perhaps the phone is not there. Okay, let's look at the health effects. Let's look at some of the health effects of nomophobia. Look at the health effects of nomophobia. What are some of the health effects of nomophobia? We are saying that we have eye strain. You strain your eye a lot because of the screen. We also have poor sleep quality. We have insomnia that can lead to many health problems. We have physical pain. We have neck pain, back pain, wrist pain as a result of using the phone. Okay, you have physical pain. So it can be the back pain, you can have neck pain, you can have wrist pain as a result of overuse of the phone We also have dizziness. As a result of your phone, you can also feel dizzy, or you can have blurriness of vision. Your vision is blurred as a result of overuse of the phone. Okay. You also say you can also have respiratory alterations because of the anxiety you go through. You can have respiratory alterations. You can also tremble because of the dependency on the phone. For fear of you losing your phone, you can tremble. You can have perspiration. You can have what we call tachycardia. That's fast heartbeat. It's also one of the effects we are also looking at. So we still continue with the health effects of nomophobia. We have what we call screen fatigue. Screen fatigue. And screen fatigue is caused by repetitive eye movement that can lead to blurred sight or blurred vision. You see, the more you look at the screen, you experience what you call screen fatigue because the eye has to move on the screen, look at the screen repetitively. And this can cause you to have blurred sight or blurred vision. Sometimes you look on the screen for a long time and you look so, your vision is blurred unless you sit for some time before you come back to your normal vision. And so we're saying that nomophobia causes screen fatigue. And those of you who look on screens for a long time, you are aware that these things happen. We're also saying that screen fatigue is also associated with neck and back pain. The screen fatigue is also associated with neck and back pain. You can have headaches. You look on the screen for a long time, you can have terrible headaches, and you can have general exhaustion. You look at your phone, it can be a laptop screen, it can be a phone screen. When you have the screen fatigue, we are saying that you can have headache and you can have general exhaustion. That is as a result of information overload. Please let's mark this word. Information overload. You go to your phone, you go to Twitter, you go to Facebook, you go to Instagram, you go here. You have too many information in your memory. Too many information in your memory. Then you experience what you call information overload. Okay, your brain gets saturated, and you get what you call information overload, and that can also disrupt your activities. Let's look at the social effects of nomophobia. Social effects of nomophobia. We are saying that there is no doubt that nomophobia has adverse effects on our social life and interaction. We have break in family communication. Family members prefer to be on phone than talking to each other. You go to the house, husband, wife, and children, everybody is busy on the phone, and there's no talking among themselves. They prefer to talk to those outside than to talk among themselves. That is it. So there's a break in communication, and by way of nomophobia. There's also a break in friendship interaction. Friends can be physically together, but so much absorbed in their smartphone conversation. You can see a group of friends sitting together, but instead of them to have physical interaction, what are they doing? What are they doing? They are chatting on their phone, and as if they don't really exist. They are chatting on the phone. So there's a break. There's also a break in interaction among friends. Then we have limited physical visits, which can be very bad to some extent. Sometimes you don't want to visit somebody just because of the phone. You can call the person and talk to the person, but you cannot substitute physical interaction with phone interaction. A man is a social being, and once in a while, we need to visit ourselves physically to uphold each other, to see our faces. We should not substitute phone interaction with physical interaction. So this is one of the causes social effects of nomophobia. Then we are also saying that we have a kind of social isolation. We are socially excluded from each other as a result of nomophobia. You think that you are self-contained. You are self-contained. With the phone, you can talk to people, you can chat with people, and so there's no need to even come out to even talk to people. Somebody can be in his room 24 hours, and they are always on the phone. And they don't want to even go out there to even greet the next door neighbor. Okay? People live in homes, and because of their phones, and they don't even go out to greet people. They're so much absorbed with their phones. So social isolation, social exclusion as a result of nomophobia. And the boredom. Some people think that they can kill their boredom with their phones. And matter, you cannot substitute, the phone cannot be your source of happiness. Some people, their only source of happiness is a phone. What is not correct? You can depend on the phone for your happiness, but that is a loss of some people. And we are saying that people also make the phone their all. They make the phone their all, and they don't need any human relations. So we are saying that with nomophobia, there is surely and truly a disintegration of social bonding effect. There is a disintegration of social bonding. There's a break in social bonding. And this is experienced in all facets of society, from the family, from the every level of society. There is social disintegration as a result of the phone. People are so much glued to the phone than to be bonded to each other. Even a husband and a wife will be on the bed and they are chatting on the phone. They don't even recognize that they are even on the bed. That's what the phone can do to us. They were saying that when children use their mobile phones, they are virtually free from parental supervision and control, in spite of the fact that they are sitting in the same room with their parents. Children who use smartphones, who are so dependent on their phones, they stand from their parents, although they are in the same room with their parents. They can be blissful 1,000 miles away through the mobile phone networking, chatting with their peers. Mobile phones give them a sense of connection with people virtually. This can have a very negative effect on the moral and social upbringing. Already, we are feeling these effects, the negative effects of these things. They are learning a lot of bad behavior as a result of these things. Parents have no control. The only control you have is that you say, I'm not allowed my child to use a smartphone. But I bet you they'll have a way of using it. They'll have a way of using it. So how do you deal with that? I think we'll look at that. We also say that it's a type of an over-connection syndrome. Nomophobia is a type of over-connection syndrome because our excessive mobile phone use reduces the amount of face-to-face interaction. And this interferes with our social and family interaction. The terminology, techno-stress, let's notice this word, techno-stress, is frequently used to address a similar condition when people avoid face-to-face interaction and are restricted within themselves. They avoid face-to-face interaction and they are restricted within themselves. We call it techno-stress. And because of that, they have no concern for others. With techno-stress, people don't have concern for others. They are self-contained. They are restricted within themselves. And because of this situation, they eventually become depressed in later life. Please, let's look at this. Nomophobia can lead to depression in later life because you don't want to relate with people. Man is a social being, and you cannot be self-contained. You can't contain yourself without talking to people. And later on in life, you can have depression. Dealing with nomophobia. How do we deal with nomophobia? We are saying that there are many ways of handling the menace of nomophobia. There are many ways of handling the menace of nomophobia. One way is let's educate ourselves on the proper use of the mobile phone. What is the phone for? Is the phone supposed to be a source of happiness? Is the phone supposed to replace human interaction? So let's educate our people on the proper use of the mobile phone. We ourselves can be victims of nomophobia. We ourselves can be victims of nomophobia. And so we need to educate ourselves what is the use of the phone. Do I need the phone 24 hours 7 in a day? Do I have to break or do I have to use the phone intermittently? Some of us, every second, we want to use the phone. It is not a good habit. Some of us cannot even switch our phones off for a minute for fear that we will lose connection, for fear that we will lose connectivity, for fear that we will be lost in the world. If you get lost for a minute or two, what is the problem? You know, now the phone, you can even see sometimes. Every minute, calls are coming in, and you are tempted to go to the social media. You move from Twitter, from Facebook, to Instagram, to WhatsApp, to Signal, and what have you. And so please, we are saying that let's educate ourselves on the proper use of the smartphone. We are also saying that we should know a bit about time management. How many minutes, how many hours do you wish to spend on the phone in a day? How many minutes, how many hours do you wish to spend on the phone in a day? This is what we are saying. How many minutes? Tell yourself, manage your time effectively. That within a day, I want to spend 1 hour on my phone. This 1 hour should be distributed easily. That in the morning before I go to work, I want to spend 10 minutes, okay, relating with my people, my friends. And at work, at break time, I want to use 20 minutes, okay, to chat with friends. And when I close from work, I want to spend 30 minutes with friends. That's the 1 hour we are talking about. And it is also not too healthy to use the phone even 1 hour before you go to sleep. Because it interferes, the screen interferes in your sleep pattern. And whatever you do before you sleep also have some kind of effect on your sleep. So we're saying that let's manage our time effectively. We're also saying that if you're a nomophobe or if you're nomophobic, what do? Seek counseling and psychotherapy to help you to deal with the psychological and social effects of nomophobia. If you're a nomophobe or nomophobic, we're saying that seek counseling or psychotherapy to help you deal with the psychological and social effects of nomophobia. And we're saying that if your nomophobia has gone to the extent that you have got some kind of dependency syndrome, you can use medication to deal with the effects of the nomophobia. For instance, anti-anxiety medications can help you. If you have developed the symptoms of anxiety, that you need those medications, finally, you can use those things. And I'm sure that doctor to help you. Then we are talking about restriction on the use of phone by children and students. And even adults, we can also have the restriction on ourselves. Sometimes if you think you're overusing the phone, smartphone, you can buy yourself a young phone, okay? Put the Android phone in the house and go to work with your young phone. That's when you come back, you can use your Android phone. It's a way of breaking the phone dependency. Conclusion. We are saying that nomophobia is a real modern threat. It has a lot of psychological, physical, and social effects. We need to tackle the issue head on to avoid damage to ourselves and to our society. We can deal with the menace through education on the use of phone, time management, use of non-smartphones, restriction on the use of phone at home, work and schools, medication to treat the health effects of nomophobia, and counseling to break the dependency on phone and associated anxieties. So, thanks for listening. Efia, are you there? Hello? Lorena? On block, if you have any question to ask, you can ask before we sign off. Any questions? Any questions? Any questions? Unfortunately, we couldn't have our people today. But those who are here, do you have any questions to ask? Any questions? Verona, any questions?
Oh, now I know the reason why we have been addicted to our phones. So it's like what you have said is, since we are using our phones, whether we sleep with our phone, I sleep with my phone. So I'm nomophobia, right?
Nomophobic.
Am I nomophobic? I'm one because I can't do without my phone.
I see. Why?
So I have to. I don't know. I like the way the effect of losing connectivity, sleeping
Exactly.
and watching our phone at the same time. So
So,
I think we have to try and
yeah, yeah. As you have said,
manage it.
it's a fear of losing connectivity that will lead you to be
Yes.
a nomophobe. If you look at the health
Phobic.
effects,
Okay.
and you look at the psychological effect of nomophobia, it's better you limit the use of the phone. And that's why we are prescribing time management and self-discipline as a way of dealing with the nomophobia. If not, maybe
In the form of so,
the screen fatigue itself can have a lot of effect on you. I don't know whether you heard me talk about screen fatigue, where you have repetitive eye movement,
yes.
the fact that you can have blurred vision, that can lead you to neck and back pain. You can have information overload. You can also have headache and others. So sometimes you use the phone too much and you have a terrible headache. So we should try as much as we can to limit the phone. I, for one, after work, I make sure my phone goes off for 2 hours and I can have some sleep. Today, for instance, the whole day, my main line has been off. The whole day, my personal life is on my work phone, which is a young phone, which has been on, just to at least go off the screen a bit. So you can buy a young phone, sometimes a young phone like this, and have your SIM card in it to receive calls, and you go to your Android smartphone only when you want to access social media. I think it will help. In this way, you can even leave your phone in the house and go with a young phone. And when you come home, perhaps we'll check the messages, look at them, and you reply them. You put the phone back. That's all.
Further, here is the case that this COVID has come and the phone has become a necessity for us. Let's say, for instance, when you go to this TTU, they are talking about 70% online and 30% face-to-face. So it's like it has become an addictive for some of us. If you go on offline, there will be some work you can't do, and they will put the work when you are not aware. So how are we going to manage in the course of this COVID? How are we going to be aware?
Using the phone for studies is different from using the phone
Using a personal one.
just the same. If it's a Zoom,
Okay.
Zoom, you can have my Zoom is on my laptop. Okay, if you have a laptop, you can use your laptop for study. Okay, but using the phone, using the phone for study is a different thing. It's a scheduled lecture, right? It's a scheduled lecture. You are told you have a lecture at 9 o'clock. Okay, so the phone can help you to get information that have a lecture at 9 o'clock. So at a certain time, you go for a lecture. And after a lecture, you put the phone down.
And you can't put it down because there is an assignment which you have to research on. So in this case, what are you going to do?
Well, if you listen to me well, if not using the phone for this purpose, that we're talking about, you say it's a nomophobic. It's not using the phone for research. But even that, even for research, there should be a limit to that. You can't say the whole day you're researching. You have what we call digital overload. what we call digital overload.
Okay.
And you're also going to have screen fatigue.
Okay.
So my dear sister, no matter what it is,
Okay.
you can't say, I do a lot, you are aware I do a lot of work. You are aware of that. But intermittently, I break. I can break for 1 or 2 hours. I come back to my screen. Okay? If you don't do that, the very night, you can have a problem. So the fact that your assignment doesn't mean that you should always be on your screen. The screen can give you a problem. Okay? And we even prescribe this kind of glass I'm wearing. The glass I'm wearing has what we call the blue cat. The blue cat screen, it reflects off all light. No light can penetrate your eye. This is a blue cat lens. It's a bit expensive, but if you get it, it helps. So we are saying that the fact that we use the phone for research doesn't mean that we should always be on our phone. Some people are not joining. They don't hear the effect of it, so perhaps they can follow. But I'm going to repeat this letter intermittently for those who want to listen. But it's very important. The phone is a problem. It's a problem. It has both psychological effects, it has social effects, and it has health effects. And you know, we all know it. So let's try as much as we can to discipline ourselves with the use of our phones. It helps. And I mentioned what you call techno stress. Those who have just joined us, I mentioned what you call techno stress. Techno stress is a situation where you make use of the phone as a self-contained. You contain yourself. You require within yourself to extend that you don't want to have any face-to-face interaction with anybody. And one other terrible thing is what we call ring stress. Ring stress is when every second you pick your phone and check whether you have a notification. Okay, it plays on your brain. It plays on your brain. So with nomophobia, you lose concentration, you lose attention, you are disoriented, you feel agitated, you feel so much anxious. And that's why we are saying that let's discipline ourselves with the use of our phones. Samuel, you're welcome. Any question? Abigail Archer, or meet yourself. We're having a discussion.
But I'm okay. I just joined. I'm here to pick up.
Okay, we're talking about nomophobia, and perhaps I may need to repeat this lecture for those who want to join. I think people are now getting time to join. I think we have. Okay. Perhaps I can quickly run through what it is for those who have just joined. So let me share my screen and quickly run through. Or better still, we will we go off and rejoin so that I can schedule a new meeting. How okay with that? Someone will be okay with that?
Yes, please, Father.
Okay, so let me schedule a new meeting rather. Okay, so we can have another 40 minutes to go through the topic and have a discussion on that. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so Verona, go and come and join again.